Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a grammar tense that's kind of like a secret weapon. Use it right and you can seriously impress an IELTS examiner and really make a difference to your score. All right, let's just jump right in. I mean, we all want a better score, don't we? But how do you actually get there? It's not always about memorizing a million new vocabulary words. A lot of the time, it's about showing you can handle complex grammar with real precision. And that's exactly where this tense comes into play. When you use the past perfect continuous correctly, you're sending a huge signal to the examiner. You're basically saying, hey, I've got a sophisticated command of English. It shows off your range and your accuracy, two things they are literally looking for. Okay, so let's break this thing down. We're going to decode what it is and how you can build it so you can use it with total confidence every single time. So here's the deal. The most important thing to get is that this tense is all about connecting two different moments in the past. It's for describing a long action that was happening before some other shorter action happened. And the formula, it's super simple and it never changes. Had plus been plus a verb with ing. You've got to lock that one into your brain. Okay, now for the really good stuff. Knowing the formula is great. But the real secret is knowing exactly when to use it to get the biggest impact. So let's look at 3 key situations where this tense is an absolute game changer. We're going to walk through these 3 main uses. And what's cool is that each one is perfect for a different part of the IELTS test, whether you're describing a chart in the writing or telling a story in the speaking part. First up, use number 1. This is for when you're talking about a long action that got interrupted by something else in the past. Look at this timeline here. She had been studying. That's the long action, right? It was going on, and then boom, the phone rang. That's the short interruption. See how the past perfect continuous just sets that scene perfectly? Okay, number 2. This is an awesome way to show cause and effect. So why was the guy tired? This sentence gives us the answer. It's because he had been working all day. Using the tense here just adds this whole other layer of logic and sophistication to what you're saying. And finally, use number 3, storytelling. Seriously, this tense is going to be your new best friend in the speaking test. Before you jump into the main action of your story, you can use this to paint a picture of the background. The sun had been shining. See? It sets the scene and just pulls your listener in. It makes your story so much better. All right, so let's put this into practice. How does this actually help your score on the real test? I mean, theory is one thing, but seeing some solid, practical examples is where the light bulb really goes on. So for writing task 1, when you're looking at a graph or a chart, this tense is perfect. You can talk about a trend that was already happening, like profits going down, right up until a specific point in time, like when a new CEO was hired. It just sounds so precise and academic. And what about your task 2 essay? Well, you can use this to add some really powerful historical context. This example here, it shows this long period of time where something was happening, or in this case, not happening, before a big event. It just makes your argument so much stronger. It really shows you're thinking deeply about the topic. And of course, for the speaking test, this is gold. It's such a great way to kick off a personal story. You're giving that crucial background info before you dive into the main point. It makes your answer feel way more structured and, complete. Okay, so we've seen the right way to use it, but to really master this, we also need to know what not to do. Let's talk about some common traps, because avoiding these is just as important as knowing the rules. So here's a big one. A lot of people mix this up with the past continuous. Saying I was working is totally fine by itself. But the second you want to connect that long action to another thing that happened in the past, like getting a promotion, you need the past perfect continuous. It's what creates that link. The other big mistake, it's super simple. People just forget the formula. You have to remember it's always, and I mean always, had been plus the verb with ing. Don't let a simple slip-up like that cost you points. Just drill it into your head. Had been verb ing. Okay, time for a quick quiz to see if you've got this. I'm going to show you a sentence with a blank space. Your job is to fill it in with the past perfect continuous. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, first one's up. The long action is wait, and the interruption is the bus arrived. So what's the answer? Take a second. And the answer is had been waiting. She had been waiting for an hour when the bus finally arrived. How'd you do? Did you get it? All right, on to the next one. This one is all about that cause and effect. So the ground was wet. Why? What had been going on? Think about it.
The answer is, it had been raining. The ground was wet because it had been raining. See how that works? Awesome job.
You know, getting this tense down is like adding a new superpower to your English skills. And if you want to practice more, you can find tons of free lessons, more examples, and even full mock tests over at IELTSbattles.com. So, my question for you is, now that you've got this tool, where are you going to use it first? Are you going to try it in your next practice essay, or maybe during a speaking session? Give it some thought. And remember, for more lessons and to really put this stuff to the test, check out all the resources at IELTSbattles.com. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer.